All right, so I had a recommendation that I show you what it looks like when some statistical results are not significant, since most of the examples in the labs work out. So let's just open up an example data set here. We've got two different streams and their pH values. And so this would be a t-test. If I go up to Analyze, Fit Y by X, and I choose Stream as X and pH as Y and hit OK, then I run a t-test and I can see here that my t-ratio is negative 0.68213. The probability of getting a t greater than this due to chance alone is 0.5042. So my p-value here is much larger than 0.05, and I cannot reject my null hypothesis. There's no difference in pH between BDC1 and CCC1, which are two different stream locations. Okay, so that's one example. Then if I go to this data set, here I've got a bunch of different stream sites, and I've got measurements of dissolved oxygen and specific conductivity. What if I'm curious to see if DO and conductivity are linearly related, whether they're correlated, or I could run a regression. Maybe I think that the dissolved oxygen concentration might influence the conductivity in the water. And so I say, okay, and ooh, that doesn't look good, right? So, oops, I'm trying to pull this down. It won't let me. Okay. Anyway, we can say fit a line, and we get a line that looks pretty flat. We go down here, you can see my R-square. I'm explaining almost none of the variation in the data set. My F ratio is very small, 0.2, and my probability of getting an F larger than this due to chance alone is 0.65. So I need my p-value to be 0.05 for me to reject the null hypothesis. The slope is 0, and in this case, I can't reject that, so the slope is 0. There's no relationship between DO and conductivity. All right, so let me see if I can get rid of that one. And I'll go to this one. So here, I've got another data set, this time a bunch of stream sites and different slope measurements. And I have more than 2 sites. I've got a few different sites on Barking Dog Creek and a few on Snyder Creek. I'm going to use an ANOVA, so I say fit Y by X. Site here, and slope is Y. And now I would go and fit an ANOVA, means ANOVA. And I can see there's some variation in slope. My R-square, 0.21, so I'm only explaining about 21% of the variation in slope. My F ratio is 1.6, and you can see my p-value is 0.18. So once again, my p-value is not less than 0.05. I would not reject the null hypothesis. And so the means are all equal. Okay, so hopefully that helps you to see what some non-significant results look like and why those p-values are so important in terms of determining whether or not to reject your null hypothesis.